And welcome to the Barry Foster Show, coming to you from the Ridge Florist Studios in the City of Charm, beautiful downtown Avon Park. I'd like to remind you, if you have any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions, topics you'd like us to cover, maybe some guests you'd like us to interview, please put them in the comments below. We'll be glad to do that, and we are very responsive to your requests. You can also reach us by email at thebarryfostershow@gmail.com. In the studio is my beautiful wife, Sandra, as we get ready to talk about our latest foray out and on date night to the Frostbite up in beautiful Frostproof, Florida. First of all, though, I really want to take a moment to thank Nell Roberts at Ridge Floors for all the help that she's given us in providing the studios and making this work. She's a great florist, and we stopped and saw her Saturday, and it was early Saturday morning. She received a call from a funeral home that there had been an oversight, that they needed flowers, and she whooped up some arrangements and got them over to court. And that's just the kind of work she does over there. I've even given you flowers from Ridge Florist.
Yes, you have.
And you can find them at ridgeflorist.com. And we want to take time to thank Nell for all the work she's done to help us out. It was date night, and we were going to go to Port 27 up in Lake Hamilton, and we did. We went all the way up to Lake Hamilton, but the place was packed. It was just apey, and we've looked online. Their online presence isn't all it could be yet, but I wasn't ready to park half a mile away and walk up through the dirt parking lot there. It was a long way to walk. I understand that they have an Italian restaurant, they have a burger restaurant, they have a seafood restaurant, they have an ice cream parlor there. They've got a brewery and at least one bar. We understand they have live music up there. They have a playground for the kids. Although when we went up, I only saw one family go up there. I only saw one family with a small child. There were some families with larger kids, teenager type kids. But the kids that we saw weren't really playground age kids. But as you know, when they open up a new place, there's the feeding frenzy, and they opened this up 6 weeks ago, I think. And so we're going to wait for a little while before we go back there again and give it another shot. I do want to take, let's talk a little bit about our trip up to Frostbite up in beautiful Frostproof, Florida. This is one of our go-tos for date night. They have, it's a typical mom and pop soda shop. They have the old-timey signs on the walls. They play 50s music. I was going to do the show there live. I want to do the show there live, but here on Facebook, if you have copyrighted music, Facebook will flag you for it. In fact, I've been several places where I've asked them to turn the music down because Facebook will say you have copyrighted music on there. So we couldn't do it there live, but it's always a lot of fun to hear the music and figure out what the songs are, who plays them, that kind of thing. It's a great little place. We always get a booth because it's more comfortable in the booth. When we went, now this time you always get the special when you go there.
Not always, but sometimes I do get their specials. They have different ones, and then you get two sides with it, and pretty much at any restaurant, the sides are my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And let's see, you had the chicken this time.
And then I had potato salad and coleslaw, which are two of my favorites.
You didn't get the whole chicken. Did you get the half or the quarter?
Quarter.
You got the quarter. That's pretty much for a quarter, And then how you had potatoes and coleslaw? How was it?
Good.
Yep.
Coleslaw is not loaded with mayonnaise, and it's has more of a raw feel to it, but it's very good. They do have a creamy sauce on it and a little bit of sweet, And then the potato salad was quite good.
Yeah, oh, that was potato. I thought it was mashed potatoes. You had potato salad?
It was potato salad.
I didn't know that.
They were sliced, not the typical chunk potatoes that you get in a potato salad.
Well, this is Burger Week in Polk County, and a lot of the places try to, feature their best burgers. They weren't really doing that at Frostbite. What they did, I went and got the mushroom Swiss burger that comes with bacon, and for $8, well, they call it $7.95, but for $8, it is a really great burger. They use, I think, real beef. They have real beef, real Swiss cheese, and the bacon was crisp, which it's hard to have a good bacon burger if the bacon's not crisp. When it's flaccid, it's not that good. And usually we'll get the waffle fries. Now, they don't list the waffle fries on the menu. You have to ask for them. And their waffle fries are pretty darn good. But I'd seen what they call onion Twizzlers, and they're thinner. They're a thinner sliced onion. They're not big, thick like onion rings. So I said, can I get the onion Twizzlers? And our waitress, Daniela, said, certainly. So we did. And we've had this dipping sauce before. When we just did, as you heard the review we did on the grill on Lake Jackson, and they had a dipping sauce. This was the same kind of dipping sauce, but it had more of a bite to it.
Yes, it was a bit more spicy, which is one of the things I like about the one at Lake Jackson, is that it is still that classic dipping sauce for onion rings, but it doesn't have the heat that a lot of them have.
Now but you're a horseradish girl.
I do like horseradish, but horseradish is different than pepper hot.
Well, this wasn't really that hot, and now I'm not a hot guy. I used to be. I used to like
But you were the one eating the onion rings. I only tasted the sauce to see if it were how it compared to the one at.
I didn't taste the cayenne. You could taste the cayenne
Jackson
pepper
Grill.
though.
Yes, there was some cayenne pepper in it.
I couldn't taste that, but it's when we go, I always try to get something a little bit different. I mean, I've had a number of the different things. They have a wonderful classic Reuben sandwich over there. And I've had the Philly chicken over there, which also is very good. And the pork tenderloin sandwich is another one. It's one of those giant pork tenderloins. So I've tried all of those, and the wraps. I kind of like the wraps. I've had the classic chicken wrap, and I've had the turkey bacon ranch wrap. I didn't get any like the Thai or the Santa Fe because they've got a little bit of heat to them. I didn't get those.
Did you get the avocado chicken wrap, or
I never
was it
have.
just plain chicken?
No. And this is the kind of place where you go, where once you go, you want to go back again. And they have everything from the onion tanglers. If you like the appetizers, they got fried mushrooms and cheese sticks and fried okra. The nachos, if that's what you like. The flaming fries, which are really hot, if you like that kind of thing. So they have a lot of options there as well.
Well, the food is good. I've never had anything that really was not. But the main thing about it is a very relaxing retro feel. And the booths are that padded, nice, yes, the 50s to the 70s, something like that. It's a very comfortable, laid-back place where you see a lot of families and a lot of kids, a lot of young kids dating. And the wait staff is just really great. They seem to work really well together. Someone's always there to anything you need. They're right there at your elbow. And yet they don't over push, but they're nice, clean, high school age, most of them, it seems.
Yeah, and were you surprised at how fast it came out? I mean, they were really busy when we came in.
Yes, they were busy. Saturday night is a busy time at the time we were there. And parking lot had quite a lot of people in it. And you were surprised to see as many people sitting out in the front under the little shelter there at the picnic tables.
Yeah, see, during the pandemic, it used to that the front was just totally open. It was totally open, and during the pandemic, they went ahead and put a front portico on there that holds maybe, what do you think, about 20 people or so. It holds a number of large top tables, 6 top, 8 top tables, and then there's some 4 top tables there. And you can sit outside and enjoy the breeze, which for us living in Florida, that's really fun in the wintertime and in the fall. But boy, I will tell you, it was pretty darn hot today. And I don't know that I told Sandra, I said, I don't want to sit outside. And fortunately, the Lord was good to us, because just as we walked in, there was a couple stood up out of a booth, and I said, didn't she say that's for you?
Yes, she did.
And so the girl walked up, and she could see right away. They bust the table immediately, and I think there was the manager that came over and cleaned it off. So it's nice to sit outside and kind of watch the cars go by there on the scenic highway and all that, but it was a little too warm tonight for us.
And they have these good-looking guys in the soda, the ice cream section over there. Seems like always, and I don't know if he happens to be related or has just had a long-term job there, but he seems to be there a lot of the time when we go into the Frostbite. That handsome young man behind the counter for the ice creams. Yeah,
well, I mean, there's cute girls for the guys and hunky guys for the girls. And they do have a really nice, and they have real ice cream. It's not, as my father used to call it, soft serve. He used to call it custard. But they only have a little bit of that soft serve. But if you want raisin the roof or French vanilla or strawberry or
butter pecan,
yeah, you can get all those. And they do quite a business in that. And you have your choice of, the regular cone, the waffle cone. You can get it in a cup, or they have one thing that Sandra and I have done. I always like to do this. We didn't do it tonight, but
a banana split and share it,
and 2 spoons. That's a lot of fun. A banana split and 2 spoons.
And it is a nice big one with all of the classic flavors. And
I think for a while they had trouble getting the little plastic boat that to put the banana split in, and it just came in. It looked like the top of a clamshell. But now they're back to the boat, and those are it's this Neapolitan with the chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, different syrups, all the nuts, all that kind of stuff. And it is big. It is big. And I'm trying to be good, so I was watching myself tonight. We also have now, for dessert, sometimes gotten a milkshake with 2 straws and shared it that way.
But my favorite is the root beer float when it comes to ice cream.
Now, you had root beer tonight over there at the Frostbite, and then tonight when we got home, you made your own root beer float tonight. Do you like our home root beer better? Or did you like the?
They have good root beer, but the big thing that I like, mostly your drinks are served in styrofoam cups, and I'm not a fan of styrofoam cups, and they will always, if I ask, put it in the plastic cups that they use for the milkshakes and the ice cream.
Well, they're extremely accommodating. They are extremely accommodating, and we're members of their points club now that we get there. I think you get a point or 2 points for every dollar you spend.
You've gotten a reward before.
We've gotten rewards. They send you a little note, say, hey, we miss you. We've got some rewards waiting for you, and we've gone in there. Well, the one thing I've never had in there, and I think maybe next time I may splurge and get myself a malted milk. I haven't had a malted milk in there, and I might try one of those.
Well, my weakness is hot dogs, and so on rare occasions I've had a hot dog there, which was good. Especially, I like mine with the slaw.
You have a slaw dog? Yeah, those are, they do have a good selection. I mean, they got the chili dog and the cheese dog and the slaw dog and the corn dog. They've got all that kind of stuff there, and they And you can get chicken tenders and chicken wings and chicken nuggets. You can get the chickens in a bunch of different ways. So
They also have seafood, which is something you forget, and I forget because we aren't big into seafood. But they do have a fried catfish dinner, and I know that there are a lot of people who go into that big time. And
they've got
they have
the beer
shrimp
battered
and
fish.
chips and other things.
Yeah, the popcorn shrimp. And the shrimp salad. I mean, if you're we're not seafood people. We love to go and look at the ocean and look at the Gulf. It's wonderful. It makes it nice, but we don't go in it and we don't eat what's in it. But if you do, it's a wonderful little place, and it's a great experience to go, just to go and enjoy yourself and sit by the look at the old signs. I mean, we sat by a sign that was promoting the original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs film. Had that, but there's Three Stooges signs, and there's signs for like some of the old products like knee-high wafers or knee-high soda, Necco wafers. They have signs for a lot of the different.
And Route 66.
Oh yeah, the big Route 66 sign outside, and they do now. By the way, have a drive-through. They have a drive-through where you pull up and get your order and go if you're on the go. Or they now also have the pickup parking slots where you go up and make your order, you pull up and they'll bring it out to you if they have to wait for a minute. So they keep the pickup line moving.
Well, a couple of years ago or so, our granddaughter Clementine, we took her there, and she enjoyed it because it has the kind of things that a kid enjoys.
It's the kind of place where you want to have, if you have a classic car, you want to have a picture of it. I remember one time we were there, and there were two cars which I had never seen before. They were both pastel colors. One was a pastel blue, one was a pastel green. And I kept watching and finally saw the owners walk out there. And apparently these are cars that were made in Japan for the Japanese market, and he'd had them shipped over here, and he and his friend both had one, and they drove it over there. It was interesting to see. I think they have car shows out there on occasion as well. Frostproof has a lot of fun things that go on there. In fact, one thing we did miss today, I saw the signs for it as we were driving home, but they had a Christmas in July sale, a rummage sale, a yard sale with Christmas in July items.
In the downtown Frostproof.
And the downtown area. And so, and we've been into downtown Frostproof for their annual street, well, their biannual, semi-annual street dance. Because they have one at Valentine's Day and one at Halloween. And our friend Corey Greenway, who I've interviewed on this program, he and his band, the Out of Hand Band, play there. And there's another place that now it's called the Scenic Lagoon, which is opened up there right there on the Scenic Highway, and they have some pretty good food, but it just doesn't have the atmosphere that the Frostbite has.
Well, the Frostbite is as we've said already, just that classic little 50s to 70s type drive-in spot, and the food is always good, and when you're there, you always see families and kids. It's just a very good place. We've never had anything to complain about, but they're always quick to ask you, is everything
Yes.
the way you want it?
They're attentive without being annoying, And for those of you keeping score, they have Pepsi products there, Pepsi and Diet Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper. They also have beer. It's the Budweiser products, the Bud Light and the Budweiser, the Michelob, the Ultra, the Avalanche, that kind of stuff. And if you like breezers, they also have a full line of breezers, like strawberry breezers, raspberry. They've got blueberries and pineapple and cherry. So
Another thing they have that's really good is salads. They have an apple pecan salad, which I have been there, and my friend had that, and it looked really, really good. You've got chicken salad plate and chef salad, of course, and a Thai salad and a Santa Fe salad. So just about any taste you have in salads, you could have a nice big salad there.
I'd love to have a salad, but when I get in there, I just can't bring myself to do much other than a burger.
And fries are those little onion ring
the
curls that you...
Onion tanglers is what they call them. Yeah, those are really good. But I got to tell you, it's interesting to me that they still don't have the waffle fries on the menu. You got to know, because I remember we were sitting there and I saw somebody had them. I said, "How did you get those?" He said, "Well, you have to ask for them." So now
I
that
think that's to keep them special. If when you do get them, you feel like you're special because they weren't on the menu.
Well, now you've listened to us, you know what to do when you get there. It's right there on the scenic highway. It's just north. It's on the north end of Frostproof, up there by the Frostproof High School and the Bulldog Stadium and all that. You can go up there. And I did not realize this. I'm just remembering now that they even have quesadillas if you want to get a quesadilla.
And barbecue pork.
That's right. Yeah, they have the barbecued pork and the pulled pork. So you
could really go a lot of times, which we have been there several times because it's a real favorite. And when we can't think of anywhere else to go, and really for us here where we live, it's not that far to go up there, 15, 20 minutes. And we're there, and so it's not bad.
And by the way, if you do have young children, there is a kids menu. They've got the fried fish, they got the chicken sandwich, chicken nuggets, even chicken strips if you want them, but hot dogs, corn dogs, that kind of thing. So if you have younger children, they have something for the younger appetite as well. And the demographics, as you said earlier, is really amazing because the people who were sitting behind us were quite a bit older than we are, and they were,
which is old.
Yeah, which is old. But they were having a good time, and there were people in there with young children as well running around, and you can keep the kids pretty busy with some ice cream as well. So it's a wonderful place to go. So I'll tell you, if you're going into southern Polk County, it is if you're driving, it's one of the most. I think it's the southernmost town in Polk County. It's just north of the Polk County line, just south of Lake Wales. The place is called Frostbite. And I keep your eyes open because Frostproof always has all kinds of great events. Like we talked a little bit about the street dance that they have. They have car shows there. They have all kinds of events. And so if you're looking for a place to eat while you're there, the Frostproof is as good as any, and Frostbite is as good as any and better than most. Before we go, though, I do want to talk about a little bit about one of our good friends. I did an interview with Steve Slaybaugh earlier in this series, but I want to thank the folks from Strangely Warmed Coffee who do such a great job. We stopped there I think yesterday and picked up. Is that a big bag of Peruvian coffee that we got? That is like the best coffee ever. I think that you can go to Strangely Warmed Coffee and find it. They've got Peruvian coffee, and they've got Nicaraguan coffee, and they've got Colombian coffee. They bring it in. They do the roasting there. They make K-Cups. If you need K-Cups made for your personal self or for business. And they just have, it's a wonderful little place.
Well, we've learned quite a lot about coffee since we met Jerry and Steve and have gone in there. And every time we've gone in there lately, we, instead of getting the 12-ounce bag of coffee beans, we keep moving up to a larger bag because it seems to go pretty fast for us. Now that you're able to sit at breakfast a little bit longer, you're drinking 2 cups of coffee instead of just 1.
Well, one of the things about that is that we learned that Sandra is not as much of a caffeine hound as I am. I got to have something with some caffeine in it. But she takes the second pressing out of the coffee, and the taste is just as good as the first.
Well, one of the big things that you learn is that, which was a big surprise to me, is that the dark beans have less caffeine than the light. The lighter the roast, more caffeine you get, which was just a big shocker to me. And the other thing is that I never do decaf, even though I try to avoid caffeine, heavy amount of caffeine. But I didn't like decaf because they use a lot of harsh chemicals in decaf and coffee. And he has a decaf coffee that's done, I think he said the Swiss do it, but it's done with boiling water and no bad chemicals there. So we bought a bag of that, and I can't wait to try it.
Well, Jerry, his wife, is probably about as organic as you are when it comes to doing things the organic way. And so I had never thought too much about coffee, but if you listen, you can hear Steve Slabois' interview of a few weeks back that we did when he talks about how they go through, and there are 3 or 4 pickings that they go through, only taking the right beans instead of sending a giant machine like the big harvesters do, just taking all of them. And they have a certain kind of bean, a certain kind of quality, and it's amazing the amount of it can be very flavorful, but without being really strong, you know. And then,
And
the best
if
part,
you like a lot of caffeine, they do have the lighter beans, and they also informed me that the cold coffee, the iced coffee, has more caffeine in it than the hot coffee. So I found that interesting as well. They're just full of a lot of. Going in there is just a real treat because they know so much about coffee and share it that it's just great.
and so I'm gonna make this offer. Stephen, they didn't pay us a dime for this, okay? But if you go up to their website, please tell them that you heard about it on the Barry Foster Show with Barry and Sandra. And if you have a business and you'd like us to give you a little bump, let us know. We'll be glad to do that for you. Give us because we're going to try a new series, myself and John Larson, very soon, where we highlight American-made goods and services. And so the coffee comes from outside the country, but it's roasted and produced right here in America at Strangely Warm Coffee.
And sold by a local shop. And it's the specialty coffee, not the premium coffee that you get in the grocery store. And the beans have been selected and taken care of much more carefully than what you get when you're getting a mass-produced commercial coffee.
Well, just like Ridge Florist, another made in USA product that we promote here on this program. So once again, you want to check out the Frostbite in Frostproof, Florida, voted best in Florida in 2023. If you like an old-timey mom and pop shop with great food and good prices,
And want to feel like a teenager again.
that's a good place to go. So you've been listening to the Barry Foster, coming to you from the Ridge Florist Studios in the City of Charm, beautiful downtown Avon Park. If you have any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions, please list them below. Like and subscribe to our page. And as always, we appreciate you being tuned in. So until next time, this is Barry and Sandra. Have a blessed day.